Well, how is it going, YouTube? So, a few people saw the pictures of this on Facebook and Instagram and wanted a video, so I guess I'm gonna make a video. Just did another test run, need to make a few more adjustments, but it's a work in progress, but it's coming along. So, as you'll notice, we put a loader quick attach plate on it so I can run it front mount. Still has a 3-point mount so I can run it rear mount. And as you can see, it's back to a 4-row. Started shortening cut it down from a 5-sweep to a 3-sweep. I'll talk more about that later. And I just welded that on today, so I need to cut these down yet. And then I blew a shoe, so I need to put that wheel back on. I do have another gauge wheel in the shop, but we'll try to put that one back on. So I did record a quick little video, and I'm sure many of you are wondering why I made a loader mount. Well, it takes about 2 seconds to put it on and take it off, and the visibility is awesome. And you can just adjust the loader a little bit on the fly and make a quick adjustment, you know, like the pitch of the sweeps or something like that. But I wanted it loader mount for when I'm doing young plants, like right now, where the corn, I should still have the rolling shields on, but just for the sake of making a little quick video and doing a test run, I don't have them on because I don't plan to cultivate till next week later on after I top dress urea. I'm gonna cultivate the urea into the ground. But you can see all my marks on here. It's the idea here is to set it up for, here's my 30-inch row, and I'm going to build custom undercut sweeps to put on here. Then I'm going to cultivate like a 10-inch wide strip, and then I'm going to leave a strip of clover or interseeded cover crops grow. Then there will be another strip that's cultivated, and then the corn row, so that's the same going here all the way across. So I want to leave a strip of, well, I have some soybeans planted and some corn. I have some forage soybeans planted and some corn, and we're going to be planting some mung beans here and a few other crops, which we'll discuss in other videos. But I want to be able to cultivate, but not hurt the corn or the crop that's growing in between the rows, because a lot of what I'm trying is not Roundup ready. So that kind of is the whole reason why I'm mainly no-till guy, is farting around with a cultivator. So anyways, there'll be more as I fabricate the stuff up and do that. We'll make videos of all that, but I want to be able to run it as a two sweep, a 3-sweep, a 1-sweep, and then when I build my other deals, we'll showcase that at the time being. So anyhow, these are stands which are probably actually going to become gauging wheels for the frame. As you will notice, the loader mount is tipped all the way back, and there's a reason for that, because when I've set this all up, with that being tipped all the way back is where the frame was level, and I always want it to be running level. So with this tip back, if it's doing any force, which I don't ever think it would be putting any force on this cylinder, but it's pushed all the way back, so this cylinder is going to be the strongest at this point, but it should be doing all the pushing at this pin down here. And when the bigger tractor comes next year, I may have to make adjustments, and that's why it's just kind of crudely put together. The plan is to eventually cut nice 1/4-inch frame or steel to make a nice frame. But anyways, this is the prototype. This is the one I'm trying to come up with all the ideas on, and then I'm probably going to buy a couple more and have each one set up a different way. But anyways, so yeah, it's kind of ugly. But I tell you what, I have $39 plus whatever gas and welding into it. And the $39 or $34, whatever the heck it was I spent today at the steel shop to buy that 4x4 square tubing. And some other bits and pieces that I didn't even use on here. So that's really all I have into it. And I have my row guides right there, which that's a whole nother story, because right now this is laid out for 30-inch space corn, but my corn planter had some issues and I didn't plant 30-inch spacing. It's a 33, a 32, and a 28, which that is fixed now. I planted a little corn at the end after rebuilding the corn planter to make sure, and now we're planting true 30s again. So I am setting this up for 30-inch. So next year, be ready to rock and roll. But anyways, this is what I've got going on. So I'm going to build some custom, I'm calling them undercut blades. They're kind of like set up like a no-till blade where they just kind of lift the ground a little bit. But I'm going to try and build them so they don't throw much dirt. Because in one field, I'm leaving clover grow. And I don't want to bury that clover. I don't want to throw any extra dirt into that clover. So anyhow, once I get the materials for those and get them built, we'll make a video on them too out in the field. But anyways, so yeah, that's the latest crazy creation here on Larson Valley Farm. Little Blue is still kicking ass, taking plenty of names too. He puts a lot of the bigger tractors to shame. 1,500, 1,600 hours on him now. We've already talked to the dealer twice now. He will be getting traded off next spring on a brand new one. Because I want to trade him off before the warranty is up, the powertrain warranty, so whoever ends up buying him used has some peace of mind when they buy him that there's still warranty. So the dealer that I am dealing with is going to have a new 3 Series for me and a 4 Series. So the next 3 Series that comes to the farm will not be doing all the grunt work that this little shit's doing. The next one is going to be a feeding only tractor, like feeding and like yard work type stuff, not cultivating corn and all the other stuff that this little shit does. So we are going to find a 4 Series to do a lot of this other stuff, because as much as I love doing so much stuff with this tractor, I would love one just a tad bigger. Not that big. Clumsy piece of junk. But anyways, shouldn't say piece of junk. It ain't a piece of junk. It's just clumsy. So yeah, that's what I got going on. Now let the criticism begin. I'm no-tiller. Changing his ways. Not really. But anyways. So I built a interseeder that hooks 3-point on here for plant between the corn rows. I'll make a video of that coming up. And then some other crazy ideas we've got going on with the corn planter and what the plans are to make modifications to that to make all this stuff work together. So anyways, we're getting up on 10 minutes here. So if anybody has any questions or comments, criticism, advice, whatever, feel free to leave me a comment. So anyhow, hope you all enjoy. Hope you're all having a great 2025 so far, and look forward to chatting with y'all later.